So, if you would, go ahead and introduce yourself and, grade levels or that you work with, students in different grade levels that you work with, and then other contributions that you make to Global Village School.
Yeah. Hi, my name is Hyungjoon Jin. I'm a teacher at Global Village School. I also do a lot of curriculum writing as well as work on special projects with GVS. And Currently, I'm working with students as young as kindergarten and in high school as well. I've taught some seniors as well in the previous year, but this year I don't have any seniors. Yeah.
Thank you. What do you love most about getting to work with Global Village School?
Yeah, I absolutely love. Oh, let me wait until that bus goes by. I don't know if you can hear it. Can you hear the bus in the back? Oh, okay, okay. Maybe I won't worry about it then. Okay. What I love most about working with GVS is that, we're really in the business of making education accessible to students, all students. And that is something that I've been passionate about, making sure that we're creating safe and supportive environments for all students. And the fact that GVS is so value aligned with me is something that I absolutely love and value. Um, and I also really love the community that we have. I feel like we have a very supportive community. Our leadership is very understanding and quite loving to the staff and vice versa. And in our interactions, I can really see that our staff really love our students dearly, and we get that love back from the students and the families as well, which is very special and not something that I've seen a lot in traditional school settings. So these are the things that I love most about working with GVS.
So true, Young Jun. Yeah. What inspires you about your students? And if you've got any examples you'd care to share, that would be great too.
Yeah, absolutely. Um, you know, Students and families are quite inspiring in that they too have chosen GVS for the value alignment many of the times. And I can see that our families, our students care so much about protecting our environment, about upholding human rights and also animal protection. Um, Many of our families and students want to create a better world, and they are often seeking ways to be able to do that. And, in the ways maybe that traditional schooling falls short in providing the methods or the pathways for them to be able to actualize that. I feel that at GVS, we really are able to provide that support and guidance in order for them to really feel like they're making a difference in the world in a positive and long-lasting way.
So true. I was thinking, I wanted to ask you what energizes you, kind of activates you to your core about working with Global Village School students and families. But in a way, you've already answered that. I don't know, maybe are there other um, aspects that maybe professionally, personally
Yeah,
activate you?
something that really energizes me is that our school, um, we're always growing, right? And we prioritize growth, not just in terms of number of students, but how can we better meet students and communities where they are, and how can we be a change maker as an organization, as individuals, as a community, in order to create a better society for all of us that um, really is rooted in deep love and respect for nature and for wildlife and for other humans. And we're constantly encouraged to seek out professional development. We're um, often provided funding and additional pay if we participate in professional development. And I think this is really speaks to who we are as a school in terms of um, like who we are and who we strive to be. And I think it's one of the reasons that we've been around for 25 years and still thriving.
Yeah, I so agree with you. Yeah. What aspects or what makes Global Village School, or maybe your colleagues, your students, your families, a compelling force in your life?
Yeah, so I think anybody who engages in activism or working towards a better future, it can be lonely sometimes. We're when we think about like on a day-to-day people who we are interacting with or even bumping in the streets or interacting with in restaurants or whatever, it's often hard to find that value alignment when society currently is so driven by wealth building and capitalism. And the force that I find so compelling with our community is that people are change makers and they believe that small actions, individual actions add up to big actions that can truly make a difference. And when I see my students and my families working towards equity and um, human rights and animal rights and environmental protection. All of this is really inspiring and also encouraging and reminds me that I'm not in this work alone. And it's gives me a lot of hope for the future when I see young people also caring so much about our planet and other people, and the inequities that exist in our world. And like as global citizenship being a main core focus for our school, um, I think that right now, this time in humanity, in the history of humanity, it's so important to share this idea that individual actions do matter and individual choices do matter, and that education matters. That when we educate young people about these issues and give them clear pathways on how they can make a difference, how they can um, work towards a better future together. I think this is the inspiration that's a compelling force for me in my life.
Mm. Oh, so beautifully said, Young Jun. Really. And it so clearly comes from your heart. That,
Oh,
yeah,
thank you,
it's
Tricia. Yeah.
authentic. Yeah. Anything else you'd care to share? Any or add?
Yeah, for me, this is my 12th year in education. Actually, even more because I've been teaching ESL since even before I graduated from university. But I'm very, very grateful that I found GVS and that I get to be a part of this community. It was often very hard to be in school systems where I felt like I was not upholding the values in my professional life that I cared about. And having to push students to achieve certain grades or GPAs or do well on a test through rote memorization. It just all felt very difficult for me as an individual and also as a professional. And so to be a part of a school that I feel like is so committed and dedicated to a better future for all of us, including, humans, animals, rivers, mountains, lakes. I just feel like this is a blessing, and I plan to be a part of this community and this school for a long time. Yeah.